Operation Askari featured the largest reconnaissance deployment in South Africa's border war with 5 recce teams. These elite operators gathered significant tactical intelligence that shaped the operation's strategy and success. The South African Defence Force, SADF, launched Operation Askari on December 6, 1983. The deep reconnaissance work became the foundation for their 6th major cross-border operation into Angola. Special Forces teams worked deep behind enemy lines and collected vital intelligence that helped SADF achieve an impressive 23-to-1 casualty ratio by 1984. This piece explores the reconnaissance team's operations, their intelligence-gathering methods, and their vital role in shaping one of the most significant operations of the border war. Operation Askari's intelligence requirements. South African intelligence uncovered SWAPO's bold plan that involved a 7-pronged infiltration into Namibia. This useful information led SADF to strike first against nearly 1,000 SWAPO operatives who were getting ready to cross from their Angolan safe zones. The main goal was to stop SWAPO's special forces from moving south. The operation laid out clear rules. Enemy forces had to be stopped outside the borders, and security forces needed to keep their upper hand throughout the campaign. The mission rules were crystal clear. They could not let even 10 terrorists slip through. SADF pinpointed strategic locations that needed quick action. Kahama, Molondo, Kuvelai corridor to control the air, Molondo Ketive Kuvelai zone to stop enemy air defense growth, and areas north of the 150-kilometer line for night operations. 4 major combat groups split the responsibilities. Task Force X-Ray, built around the 61 Mech Battalion, took charge of Kelive and Kahama. Task Force Delta targeted Kuvelai and engaged FAPLA's 11th Brigade directly. The largest reconnaissance effort of the war involved 5 teams spread across different sectors. These teams worked on their own west of Kahama, east of Kahama near Molondo, around Kuvelai, and in the Lubango area. They gathered tactical intelligence that was crucial for battle planning. The Mobile Air Operations Team, or MAOT, worked with the Army HQ at Sangongo to back these reconnaissance missions. In spite of that, each team's independent operations made air support coordination tricky, especially when multiple teams needed help at once. The human element of reconnaissance. Success in reconnaissance missions depends on operators' mental fortitude rather than their physical capabilities. Mental preparation is the lifeblood of recce training. Psychological strength determines mission outcomes more often than tactical prowess. Proper conditioning helps the brain surpass physical limitations, which creates the foundation of recce training. Visualization techniques are crucial for emergency conditioning. Operators mentally rehearse scenarios before they face them in hostile territory. These mental rehearsals create response patterns that kick in automatically under stress. Each operator creates their personal trigger, powerful motivational anchor that pushes them through extreme challenges. This trigger comes from aspirational goals or protective instincts and becomes their ultimate source of resilience. Task cohesion, not social bonds, proves vital for mission success. Recce teams show this through their focus on mission accomplishment while they keep professional relationships. Their success rate comes from knowing how to switch naturally between leadership and followership roles. The selection process finds candidates who excel at both autonomous operation and team integration. Originally, all but one of these aspirants fails the rigorous screening phase. Those who make it show exceptional adaptability and readiness to deploy rapidly in adverse conditions. Operating in hostile territory needs a specific set of survival principles. Maintain constant situational awareness, move during darkness, avoid villages and infrastructure, select strategic observation points, and preserve water and essential resources. Recce teams worked autonomously for extended periods. One group operated independently in Angola for about 2 months. Their exceptional camouflage training let them work within dozens of meters from enemy forces without detection. Active duty's psychological demands can cause attention lapses and decreased cognitive performance. Mental skills training helps fix these effects. Groups receiving specialized mental preparation showed improvement in 86% of cognitive metrics. Advanced recce tradecraft. Tracking skills are the foundation of recce operations that lets teams collect vital intelligence without being spotted. The South African Special Forces Brigade, known as the Recces, created advanced methods that made them stand out in military reconnaissance operations. 6 basic indicators help recces piece together a full picture of enemy movements. These signs included shifted objects, stains from equipment or blood, weather impact on tracks, and hidden attempts at disguise. The recces were experts at spotting changes in the environment, like bent grass and broken limbs, ground marks from footprints and equipment, left behind materials showing enemy presence, and changes in how insects and animals behaved. Teams worked with 3 key members: a leader, main tracker, and security staff. On top of that, they employed both daytime and nighttime tracking skills and adapted their methods based on available light. Each observation post needed at least 2 operators to work well. The teams switched every 20 to 30 minutes to stay alert. These posts worked as intelligence gathering spots, while keeping strict security measures in place. Teams needed maps, communication gear, observation tools, and protective equipment. They set up both main and backup observation spots to keep watch without breaks while staying flexible with their tactics. Special Forces teams recorded intelligence through specific formats in their standard operating procedure. Each piece of collected information went through careful recording and checking before the teams sent it to Command HQ. Operation Askari's first phase showed how well this documentation system worked. Special Forces teams near Lubango gathered and sent significant intelligence that helped SAAF attacks succeed against planned training bases. Like in Kahama, teams tracked enemy supply routes and gave practical intelligence that cut off supply lines from Chibemba. Coordination with other SADF elements. Different SADF elements worked together smoothly during Operation Askari's execution. Air support, signals intelligence, and up-to-the-minute information sharing created a powerful military capability that determined the operation's outcome. The South African Air Force, SAAF, launched precise bombing campaigns that destroyed enemy positions. 10 Impala jets and 4 Canberras delivered 60 120-kilo bombs, 18 350-kilo bombs, 2 460-kilo bombs, and 600 Alpha bombs in one coordinated strike. A second wave of Impalas dropped 32 250K bombs with pinpoint accuracy shortly after. These air operations succeeded because of careful planning. Pilots worked with current aerial photographs of intended targets, combat teams synchronized ground movements with air support, and forward observers guided strikes from positions 800 to 2,000 meters away from enemy locations. Signal intelligence proved crucial in showing the operation's success. SADF radio intercepts confirmed their bombing raids had destroyed 75% of FAPLA's artillery capabilities. This integration of signals intelligence gave immediate battle damage assessment and allowed tactical adjustments. SADF signal intelligence units monitored enemy communications between garrisons and their headquarters, and these intercepts gave valuable information about enemy movements and capabilities. Signals intelligence shaped tactical decisions by tracking retreating forces and monitoring garrison communications. Special Forces teams near Lubango gathered intelligence that led to successful SAAF attacks on planned training bases. The operation showed sophisticated teamwork between reconnaissance teams and other SADF elements. Captain Carl Alberts earned the Honorary Crew for marking gun positions under heavy fire, exemplifying this coordination. Teams used detail orders with sand models built from air reconnaissance photographs, combined with Special Forces and forward observer information. This approach, using multiple intelligence sources, improved operations significantly. The Mobile Air Operations Team and Army HQ at Sangongo worked together closely to coordinate air support with ground operations. These coordinated efforts paid off in several situations. Captain Joe Vandenberg's Impala was hit by an SA-9 missile, but strong communication channels between SADF elements helped him land safely at the Ongiva airstrip. Such events highlighted why uninterrupted communication between different SADF elements mattered throughout the operation. Legacy and lessons learned. Operation Askari's lessons altered the map of military doctrine and Special Forces operations throughout Africa. The South African Defence Forces experience shaped future military planning and reconnaissance techniques. These changes continue to affect modern warfare. The border war's outcomes changed South African military strategy by a lot. The SADF used many resources to show the war as a containment program against regional Soviet expansionism. This strategy changed how Special Forces ran and documented their operations. It led to a new genre in South African literature called Grensliteratuur, or border literature. Specialist counterinsurgency units proved successful. They tracked guerrilla movements well and changed military planners' approach to future operations. The SADF's tactical innovations grew more sophisticated as the conflict went on, yet this progress brought its own challenges and lessons. South African Special Forces doctrine blended colonial experience with modern warfare needs uniquely. The SADF adapted to focus on mobility. They combined conventional mobile warfare with guerrilla action techniques to meet changing operational needs. The brigade went through major restructuring from 1992 to 1996. This created a more streamlined and effective force. Today, South African Special Forces have 2 active duty groups, 4 Special Forces Regiment specializing in maritime operations, 5 Special Forces Regiment focusing on land and airborne operations. Training methods changed with this doctrinal growth. Sports science and psychological evaluation became normal practice. The force stopped seeing mental health support as a sign of weakness. Modern selection looks at detailed medical evaluations. These ensure candidates' cardiovascular systems can handle the training. Modern applications of recce techniques. The recces changed from a wartime unit to a peacekeeping force, showing how adaptable their techniques are. Their expertise now reaches beyond national operations. They often join United Nations peacekeeping missions across Africa. The modern South African Special Forces Brigade keeps its elite status through tough selection. Only 8% of recruits finish the training successfully. Advanced training now covers military freefall techniques including HALO, high-altitude low-opening, and HAY-HO, high-altitude high-opening operations, sophisticated helicopter insertion methods, urban and rural combat expertise, and specialized medical and communications training. Modern doctrine benefits from these historical lessons. The South African Special Forces Brigade works directly under the Joint Operations Division. It stands as its own branch within the SANDF. This structure lets them deploy quickly and run specialized missions while keeping Operation Askari's lessons alive. Conclusion. Operation Askari proves the exceptional reconnaissance capabilities that shaped modern Special Forces operations. Elite operators achieved remarkable success rates while operating deep behind enemy lines because of meticulous intelligence gathering, psychological preparation, and advanced tradecraft. These Special Forces teams showed exceptional skill as they gathered critical intelligence, kept operational security tight, and coordinated with SADF elements of all sizes. They knew how to operate undetected within meters of enemy forces and used sophisticated tracking techniques that created a blueprint for future reconnaissance operations. Operation Askari's lessons shape military doctrine worldwide even today. South African Special Forces carry this legacy of excellence and adapt historical insights to meet today's challenges. Warfare has changed a lot since the border war, but the fundamental principles from Operation Askari, mental fortitude, team cohesion, and advanced tradecraft remain the lifeblood of Special Forces operations.